3 months ago?
Yes.
3 months ago, Nikon and Red did a price drop on the Komodo range of cameras. They dropped the Komodo X from $10,000 down to $7,000, and they dropped the OG Komodo, the original Komodo, from $6,000 down to $5,000.
Yes.
Then, fast forward a few months, and Nikon and Red release a set of cameras in the Raptor X and the Komodo X, but now with the Z mount.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough, though, the OG Komodo is left off this update. The OG Komodo does not get the Z mount, but Red ensures that they are going to continue to support this camera. Then, a matter of weeks, 3 weeks, maybe it's been, maybe a month, but a matter of weeks later, we hear that now the OG Komodo receives another price drop from the $5,000 now down to $29.95 or $26.95 if you're a student on B&H.
Yeah.
And instantly, because a lot of us do like to shop cameras with what's best for the project, but if we're being honest in our hearts, we're shopping with what's best for my wallet.
Yes. How much can I afford?
Now, if you've got $3,000 to spend on a camera, you are now starting to recontemplate what is the most important thing to you. Because I believe that when people shop, they shop with what can they afford, and then they ask themselves, what's the most important thing with what can I afford?
Yeah.
Is it versatility? Is it photography, video? Is it autofocus? Is it image quality? Is it whatever? And normally, at $3,000, you were like, I'm going to get a good camera, but I'm going to have to make some sacrifices here and there. Now at $3,000, you go, oh, I can get Red Color Science, R3D RAW for $3,000. That's the same as the Pixes now. Ooh, what do I care more about? What is more valuable to me? And that's what I'm kind of seeing online.
That's what we talked about last week. Like literally, I think it was Tyler Edwards. He came out with a video testing his KX versus a Pixis. And that was the first legitimate time that I looked at the Pixis and thought to myself, wow, for $3,000, I can have a good B camera. I don't have to spend KX money. And I still have a Red camera.
Yeah.
When Red dropped down to a $3,000 Komodo, they once again, I think I don't know if they're listening. I would like to think they were listening to our podcast, but literally when they drop down that price, it changes everything again. Because like you said in your video, oh my goodness, nothing's going to match better than an actual another Red camera.
Yeah.
And so, man, the only thing that I think through is really the only thing that I dislike about the price drop, and it's not even about necessarily the price drop, it's that the Komodo, it just feels like a different system, and there's not a lot of interchangeability between the KX and the Komodo. So the RF's still the same. That's great.
Yeah.
But battery's different. Memory cards are different. We have different shooting and frame rates. Like those are different. But if I'm being honest, those are some Tilta accessories. It's, I don't know, just not like I deal with having varying different media from my KX to my Canon, so it just might be having different storage solutions. And also if I need it as a B camera, there's a probably pretty solid chance I don't need 80 frames.
Yeah. No, and I think this puts this camera so perfectly in the yes, you're probably going to buy more accessories. Like when we say this camera's $3,000, you're probably not just spending $3,000 walking out and having a camera. Like it doesn't even ship with a battery.
Yeah.
Like I understand that. But the accessory market for Komodos is super inexpensive.
Yeah.
It's been out for so long because we're talking about a camera that's, going on 3-4 years old. You got a camera that has so many accessories out to date tons of them have been discounted because when the KX came out, so many people adopted the KX that the OG Komodo accessories dropped in price.
Yeah.
That now this feels like very much a competitor to the Pixis in the way that it is a phenomenal image, a phenomenal workflow, and it starts at $3,000. And just like with the Pixis, it's got a monitor on there. It's not the most usable monitor, but it's got a usable monitor on there. It's got amazing dynamic range. It shoots RAW, but with the Red, it's a Red.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, at least for me, I've got a 5-inch Shinobi. I'm not spending. Well, the 7-inch monitor can't go on it.
Yeah.
If that's just being truthful, like the 7-inch can't even go on it. But I'm probably not spending that $900 from the Portkeys monitor. I'm gonna use my 5-inch Shinobi on it. I'm gonna buy the Tilta battery adapter, and then boom, we're good.
Yeah.
Because honestly, even with the I don't even know that I'm gonna buy a handle for it. It's gonna literally exist on a tripod as a B cam if a B cam is necessary.
Dude, and I can also just say, like, as somebody who has shot with a lot of Reds, the Reds flow is so easy. Like, I mean, honestly, like, y'all are gonna think this is really dumb, but like, it's only dumb if I say it back. I'm gonna say it the right way so it doesn't sound as dumb.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I picked up the Pixis to shoot with and test out was because I also was considering it as a really, really solid live streaming camera. Because it's got the SDI out. It can output exactly what this screen is actually showcasing. So you can have all the media and everything on it. It's very, like, when it comes to live streaming, SDI is just a easier, better protocol. You can get consistent frame rates coming out of it. And like with the Pixis, you can control the image through the Blackmagic app and be able to actually control the image on the Pixis. Well, you can do all that with a Red, and in my opinion, it's a lot better. The Red Control Pro app is better.
It works for the Komodo? Wow.
So
as you were talking about that, you know who this feels like a game changer for?
That.
I mean, obviously, like, everyone for $3,000. But like, I'm even just thinking through like church productions. I'm just like thinking like, oh my gosh. Like, that's a massive live stream upgrade.
Yeah.
That is a massive, and you can buy a few.
You can get a few at $3,000.
Dude, that's crazy. That is it. There was not to get like too far off topic, but I don't know if it was Bethel or another church, but they literally bought Komodos when they first came out.
Yeah.
And they spent a lot of money, and I was just like, man, that's a lot of money for a live stream. But at $3,000, dude, that's wild.
The drummer gets one. Pastor gets one. Like, everybody gets one.
Everybody gets a Komodo. This is Oprah now.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into the chat and see what you guys are thinking. Gus says, drop the KX another $2,000. I don't think that's happening. I don't think it's happening. And Jarrell would probably cry if it did.
Well, I would be okay with it if the Raptor came
down with it. Then I would be crying. Scott says, if your thoughts on the price drop are negative, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Be a glass half full person. Think of it. Think of all the people who can now get a new Red. Dude, I'm right there with you, Scott.
Yeah.
100% in agreements. Except my wallet doesn't agree. So maybe I'm 98% in agreements. But if I go buy some Komodos, then my wallet will be happy again because we're getting them at $3,000. I
think, like, to me, I'm kind of a buyer forever owner. Like, for me, like that in terms of like my strategy. I know that there are a lot of people that buy stuff with the thought of when that cycle kind of is getting close, I'm going to keep low hours. I'm going to take really good care of it. I'm going to resell it.
Yeah.
If you're a reseller, you're crying.
Oh, yeah. You're hurting right now.
You're crying. But like for me, I'm that glass half full person where it's like, I'm going to have the Komodo for the Komodo X. Like I'm never getting rid of it unless somebody just comes with some insane deal on it.
Yeah. And that's ultimately what happened with my Komodo. Somebody needed to buy it. And they are a FPV pilot. Y'all will know, but They needed to buy it, and they were like, "Hey, you know, do you know anybody selling a Komodo?" And I was like, "Well, how much you want to buy it for?" And they were like, "Well, you know, we can spend $5 on it." And I was like, "All right, yeah, sure, that can go." I've had it for 2 years, and I lost only $1,000 on it. Now I'm feeling up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you also had the Raptor at the time too,
I did
right?
have the Raptor.
Yeah, for sure.
Alex says the price drop is going to be great for the camera industry. Buying an OG Komodo new is kind of dumb at the moment. With the used deals online now, can get a full kit for super cheap right now. I do think I told this story in my video, but like I literally had somebody who was trying to sell me a full kit. And they were trying to sell it to me for $4,000. And I was just like, I don't need a full kit.
Yeah.
Like I literally was like, if you can come down to $3 and I'll just take the body, I'm good. So literally less than a week ago, I was ready to buy a used body only for $3,000. Now you're telling me I can get a new one for $3,000?
Yeah. It could go either way. If you're brand new into the ecosystem, potentially find a used one.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, if you can get a full kit for $3,000, which is what I think what's going to happen, everybody's going to look at the price of the new one and try to get as close back to that as they can.
Yeah.
And so that's ultimately going to end up with people selling their used kits for around $3,000 is my guess.
Yeah.
Now, if you're throwing in V-mount batteries and stuff like that, like I do think it's going to be really hard to find a used body only because everyone's going to try to make as much money off these Komodos
for sure
as they can. So definitely be on the lookout right now.
Brandon Talbot got that crazy take.
He says the RF KX will see a price drop. That is a pretty crazy take. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because that is a very high, how do I put this? Like, okay, so I've heard this rumor going around that like, oh, Red's just trying to, get rid of inventory.
Yeah.
But if you are
Z-mount from here on out.
Right. And they're trying to get rid of inventory. But here's my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact, but this is my opinion, and it's going to lead into Talbot's still, is if you're trying to move inventory fast, don't do a price drop, do a sale. Because a sale says, buy now, because this price won't last forever.
Yeah.
A price drop says, yeah, you can get it in 3 months. It's still going to be the same price. So there's no rush to buy. I think the same effect will happen if they do a price drop on the RF, but it'll actually hurt their business. Because if they price drop the RF version of the KX, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of Red adopters who, if they're looking at the RF version or they're looking at the Z version, if they can save $2,000, they'll say, I'll go RF to save $2,000.
For sure.
And then you got a bunch of Red shooters who have adopted your competitor's mount.
Yeah.
Which is not really what you want right now. This is one of the reasons why I think, even though I've tested it, and I'm just going to be very honest, I don't think the autofocus is that vastly different between the RF mount and the Z mount. But there are benefits to the Z mount when it comes to autofocus, software-wise, like you can change some of the sensitivity a little bit better. I believe you do that because you want to push people to the Z mount.
Yeah.
And it would be in Nikon's best interest to push people to the Z mount.
For sure.
However, if you discount the RF, I don't think you do that. I think you push them to the RF, and that's the exact opposite they want for long term.
Yeah.
Because they want to sell lenses to these Red customers. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the Uncensored channel. Do us a huge favor. If you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to join us live every single Friday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have so much fun, and we want you to be there. So subscribe so you don't miss it.